Welcome back to another Social Security benefits update. We're going to cover deposit dates for that third stimulus check, as well as the possibility for that $200 per month stimulus boost, Biden's plans to reform Social Security, and his plans to approve another stimulus package. But before we get into it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I'd also like to thank my sponsor, Webull. They've partnered with me to provide free stocks for my viewers, valued up to $1,800. All you have to do is open an account using the link that's in the description of this video. Okay, before we jump into that monthly boost, let's quickly talk about the third stimulus check. Now, as of the first week of April, when I'm posting this video, the majority of you still have not received your check, but if you have, let us know in the comments below. Now, I covered it in detail last week that the commissioner of the Social Security Administration is the reason why these checks were delayed. Completely ridiculous, because people who are on benefits need this money more than anybody else, and this is why I hope that President Biden will fire this man and replace him with someone who will better advocate for those who are on benefits. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. The good news is last week the IRS did receive the information that it needed. They are currently processing these third stimulus checks, and we do expect those to hit your accounts in the next few days. Let's quickly cover this article by Kiplinger. Now, millions of seniors who did not file either a 2019 or a 2020 tax return will be receiving their third stimulus checks next week. After receiving data from the Social Security Administration on March 25th, the IRS says it has already started reviewing, validating, and testing the information needed to process third stimulus payments for approximately 30 million seniors. Assuming there are no problems, the IRS expects to finish that work and begin processing payments by the end of this week, April 2nd. These seniors will generally get their payments in the same way they get their regular Social Security benefits. Since most of these payments will be paid electronically either through direct deposit or direct express debit cards, the funds should be available on April 7th for the majority of seniors. So essentially, they've begun processing these payments, so you might see a pending deposit in your bank accounts or your direct express account, but they expect these to be fully deposited on April 7th. So that's a really good date to look forward to, but if you're getting these mailed out, it's going to take an extra week or two. Now, I've had a lot of questions in the comments. Why do they need my tax return to receive the third stimulus check if I received the first and the second with no issue at all? Well, it's been reported that the IRS was hoping to actually streamline this third check and make it faster by just receiving your information from the SSA to deposit it to those accounts. But because the commissioner delayed that information, it actually ended up taking even longer, if that kind of makes sense. So great news here, these payments are coming soon. Now let's take a look at some direct updates from Direct Express, the IRS, and the Social Security Administration. Then we're going to cover that $200 per month stimulus boost, Biden's plans to reform Social Security, and implement his next stimulus package. Direct Express. If you go to their Twitter page, there's honestly not a lot of updates. Direct Express is not very good at giving you detailed updates on your next stimulus check. The best they could say is that updates from the IRS on timing for the stimulus payments are expected soon. This includes Direct Express card holders. So let's take a look at the IRS website. Now, the IRS website stated, as work continues on issuing millions of third stimulus checks, the IRS and the Treasury Department announced today that they anticipate payments will begin to be issued this weekend to Social Security recipients and other federal beneficiaries who do not normally file a tax return, with the projection that the majority of these payments would be sent electronically and received on April 7th. See, so the IRS is confirming the same thing that article said, that the majority of you should receive this third stimulus check on April 7th. After receiving data from the Social Security Administration on Thursday, March 25th, the IRS began the multi-step process to review, validate, and test tens of millions of records to ensure eligibility and proper calculation of this third stimulus check. If no additional issues arise, the IRS currently expects to complete the work and to begin processing these payment files at the end of this week. Because the majority of these payments will be dispersed electronically through direct deposits and Direct Express, they would be received on the official payment date of April 7th. So, directly from the IRS website, you could expect to receive your payment on April 7th. Now, the IRS did want to give you a quick reminder that if you receive any phone calls, emails, or text messages from anyone wanting your information in exchange to then get your stimulus check, do not give them your information. These are scams. And please, guys, avoid these scams. I've actually realized that scammers prey on people who are on Social Security benefits. This is a vulnerable community, and I've seen it in the comments of my videos. These scammers will try and get your information even in the comments of my videos. So guys, please do not give anybody your information, even if it's on my videos. But let's take a look at a quick update directly from the Social Security Administration. They said that if you receive Social Security or SSI, when will you receive your economic payments? They essentially reiterated the same thing as the IRS and said that you could expect to get it on April 7th for the majority of you, and you can check Get My Payment portal to see if your payment is in process. Now, I really want to point out something important. A lot of people in the comments have been saying, hey, I'm checking the portal. Nothing is updated. I can't get any information as to when I'm going to get my next stimulus check. And I don't know if I'm getting it on April 7th because it's still not updated. Well, the IRS has reported that this portal will not be updated until this weekend, either on April 3rd or April 4th. So please, I know it's painful. I know it's really hard to be patient because we all need this money. But if it's still not updated, wait until April 3rd, check it once. If it's still not updated, wait until the next day, April 4th, to check it again. Everybody's portal should be updated by April 4th. Again, I know it's completely unacceptable. We shouldn't have to wait this long just to see our portal has been updated. But at this point, I promise you, there's no point in checking it multiple times a day because the IRS has reported that these portals will not be updated until April 3rd and April 4th. So please do not drive yourself crazy checking these portals until this weekend. But overall, really good news. The majority of you should be receiving your third stimulus check in the next few days. And guys, again, let me know in the comments if you received them by the time you're watching this video. Okay, let's quickly cover the potential of a $200 per month stimulus boost. President Biden's plans to reform Social Security benefits long term to increase benefits for the majority of people, as well as his plan to approve a $2 trillion stimulus package by the end of this year. Now, most of you know, if you watch my videos, that President Biden wants to increase the COLA adjustment by changing the formula so the majority of you would get a larger COLA increase every single year. He also wants to increase benefits for widows, increase benefits for those who have been on benefits for 20 years or more, and create a higher minimum benefit to make sure that nobody who's on Social Security benefits is forced to live in poverty. Now, it's obvious that President Biden will have a hard time getting any Republicans to vote for Social Security reform or for that $200 per month stimulus boost. And this is why this needs to be done through budget reconciliation. Now, this next stimulus package, which Biden is calling his Build Back Better plan, is going to be done through budget reconciliation, which is why the best case scenario for us would be to have these benefits lumped into that package. Now, this week, President Biden announced the details of this package. And unfortunately, at the current time, Social Security reform and that monthly boost have not been included in this package. Now, we're hoping that will change. A lot of Democrats are pushing for this to be included, including Bernie Sanders. We're going to show an update from Bernie in just a minute. But let's quickly cover what is included in this package and compare that to that $200 per month stimulus boost and see how much these things would cost. Because in my opinion, there is so much stimulus in this package that costs so much more than that monthly boost would that it makes no sense to not include it, especially when we know that seniors need this help more than anybody else. So let's take a look at Biden's stimulus plan, summarize this, and compare it to how much that monthly boost would cost. Now, first of all, infrastructure, physical infrastructure of transportation. He plans to spend about $600 billion on roads, highways, building out electric vehicle infrastructure, as well as repairing trains and other public trans. This includes $174 billion on building out a network of charging stations to charge electric vehicles. For comparison, that monthly boost for seniors would cost about the same as this. It would cost about $170 billion. So if we could spend $170 billion to build electric charging stations for cars across the country, why can we not spend the same amount of money to help our seniors throughout a crisis and to help our seniors live a life of dignity? He also wants to spend $115 billion to modernize bridges, highways, roads, and main streets that are the most critical parts of our country. $115 billion. Again, these roads are important, but that is almost as much as the stimulus boost would cost. Another $80 billion to repair trains and other forms of public trans, and $25 billion, which is quote unquote miscellaneous. We can spend $25 billion on miscellaneous projects, but we can't spend $160 billion for seniors. Completely unacceptable. Now, the second portion of the stimulus plan, he's calling quality of life at home. Now, this is focusing on rebuilding homes, school buildings, underground water infrastructure, and expanding broadband internet to make sure that everyone has access to high-quality internet. The majority of this money would be spent on low-income housing to improve the quality of life for those who need the help the most. So although this might not be a direct stimulus payment, this would benefit a lot of you because your low-income housing would be updated. Now, they want to retrofit more than 2 million homes and commercial properties, which would cost $213 billion. Again, the $200 per month stimulus boost would only cost $160 billion, give or take. High-speed internet, $100 billion. Again, almost as much as that monthly boost. And I'm not trying to downplay the importance of high-speed internet. There are millions of people who live in poverty, who live in rural areas, who don't have access to internet. And at this point, the internet is a tool that every American should have access to. But again, if we could spend $100 billion on this, we can surely spend $160 billion on seniors. He also wants to upgrade public schools, upgrade hospitals, and spend another $111 billion in upgrading water infrastructure, specifically removing lead pipes to provide cleaner, safer water for millions of Americans. Now, the third section of this package is what he kind of refers to as the human infrastructure package, and he wants to spend $400 billion on providing better care through funding caregivers for the elderly and the disabled. And this one I really am in strong support of. This would directly help a lot of people who watch my videos. A lot of my viewers are on Medicare, Medicaid, are disabled, or are simply seniors who need caregivers at home. And this would pump $400 billion into that industry to help service a backlog of millions of Americans who are waiting for this help. At the same time, it would also increase pay for these workers. Really good news, because the majority of these workers make $12 per hour, and these people are vital in providing health care for our seniors and our disabled. $400 billion, again, triple what it would cost to approve this $200 per month stimulus boost. So again, we can do this. There is no reason to not approve this monthly boost. They also want to spend $300 billion on research and developing, specifically on developing clean energy, $300 billion being double what it would cost to approve this monthly boost. But how exactly will this be paid for? We've talked about it multiple times on this channel. President Biden wants to raise taxes on the rich, specifically for corporations and those who make over $400,000 per year. Now, President Biden announced that he wants to raise the corporate tax rate from 21 to 28%, essentially eliminating the tax breaks that President Trump created. So this would not be some outrageous tax rate. This is just what it was before President Trump. Now, the idea here is that just this increase in corporate tax would cover this entire stimulus package and potentially even create a surplus. Another tax increase that Biden wants to implement is taxing those who make over $400,000 per year. He wants to do this by increasing the top tax rate to almost 40%, as well as making sure these people pay their share of payroll tax, which directly goes in to fund Social Security benefits. Now, that portion of it is expected to directly help reform Social Security, but we don't have any updates as to whether or not that tax will be included in this package or will be done in his next package. See, President Biden is kind of in a hard place. He wants to pass this infrastructure package. He also wants to pass Social Security reform, but it's going to be difficult to do both at once. So I'm beginning to worry that President Biden might be focusing on infrastructure and not do Social Security reform until the next package, which means we would have to wait until 2022. Again, just a worst case scenario here. We don't have confirmation of that, but as of now, it's starting to look like Biden is prioritizing infrastructure and jobs ahead of Social Security, but either way, we do expect him to do this throughout his administration at some point, especially when you have Democrats like Bernie Sanders fighting for seniors, fighting for Social Security reform, and fighting to lower healthcare costs. Bernie Sanders said that the average price of a hearing aid is over $2,400. The cost of a set of dentures, $2,500. The cost of prescription eyeglasses, over $200. Median income of seniors is $2,200 a month. In the richest country on earth, we must expand Medicare to include vision, hearing, and dental care. This would go a long way to help the viewers of my channel. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. Bernie is fighting to make healthcare costs more affordable for seniors and those who are disabled. He also went on to say that he wants to expand Medicare. Lowering the Medicare eligibility age is not just the right thing to do, it's what the American people want. According to a recent poll, 65% of Americans want to reduce the Medicare age to 60. 60% of Americans want to expand Medicare for all. Healthcare is a human right, not a privilege. Now, this is a really important topic because the majority of you take Social Security benefits at age 62, but you still do not qualify for Medicare until 65. So this puts you in a really difficult situation where you either don't have healthcare for 3 years, or you try and apply for Medicaid if possible, or you're just forced to work a job part-time so you can continue to have health coverage. So I strongly support Bernie Sanders in wanting to expand Medicare, wanting to reform Social Security benefits, as well as wanting to pass this $200 per month stimulus boost. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. Bernie Sanders also went on to say that over the course of this pandemic, tens of millions of Americans are out of work, 10 million are behind on their rent, 22 million say they don't have enough money to put food on the table, but in America today, just a handful of billionaires are now $1.3 trillion richer at the exact same time. This is what a rigged economy looks like, and I could not agree more. Guys, as the viewers of my channel struggle to put food on the table, struggle to pay their rent, you have worked your entire lives and paid taxes into a system which was supposed to help you live a life of dignity throughout your retirement. And now we have people struggling to put food on the table, and at the same time, billionaires becoming $1 trillion richer throughout a pandemic. This economy does not work for the disabled. It does not work for the retirees, and it does not work for the average American worker. Guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. And I'm glad Bernie Sanders continues to fight for Social Security benefits. I'm going to wrap this video up with a quick take from Bernie Sanders fighting for Social Security and saying that we need to not only protect it, but expand it going forward. So let's take a look at what Bernie Sanders had to say.
There has been too much discussion in this country, not just from Republicans, but from Democrats alike, that we should be making cuts in Social Security. That is wrong. Right. Let me say a word about Social Security. You know, sometimes when you have a program that is working so well and has worked so well for so long, we kind of take it for granted. So let me say a word about Social Security. When Social Security was developed in the 30s, its goal was to cut down on senior poverty. And when it was developed, 50% of seniors lived in poverty. Today, poverty among seniors is too high, but that number is 10%. Social Security has done exactly what it was designed to do. Think about this. For 75 years, in good times and in bad times, Social Security has paid out every nickel owed to every eligible American. For 75 years, every American has got what he or she is entitled to. Don't let anybody kid you. Social Security today has a $2.6 trillion surplus. Social Security can pay out every benefit owed to every eligible American for the next 25 years. Social Security has not contributed 1 penny to the deficit, and I will be damned if they're going to cut Social Security.
Really good points from Bernie. To be honest, some of those numbers are a little bit outdated. That video is a few years old, so at this point, I think we have about 15 years left of solvency for Social Security benefits. But nonetheless, the bottom line that he wanted to drive here is that Social Security is not just a privilege, it is a right. And you've paid into the system your entire life. And don't let any politician fool you. Social Security can be sustainable. We just need reform, and we need someone to take action. We're hoping President Biden will be the man to do this. But guys, with that said, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share this channel with anybody who you think might find this helpful. Thanks again for watching, and until the next video, take care and have a great day.